All right, while it's fresh on my mind, I wanted to put out a little video, and I wanted to do just like tips and about going to the Philippines or going to another country. I want to say the Philippines because that's what that's where I have been for the last 6 months. So I want to put out just a quick little video, like tips, things I wish I would have done differently before I went over there, things I wish I would have brought, things like that. And I just wanted to do it while it's fresh in my mind since I'm here in San Francisco, heading out to the Philippines. All right, random things that I wish I would have brought, or I think certain people should bring when they come here. I'm about 6 feet tall. I'm about 175 pounds, give or take. So for me, it was a little bit harder trying to find underwear that fit me, being a little bit taller. Shoes, I wear about 12 and a half, maybe 13s. So those are hard to find as well. Sandals, you get a lot of cheap sandals here. I have these little wipes that my girlfriend get, and they look like little chewy tablets, but they're just a cloth, and it's about yay big. It looks about the shape of a coin, and you dump water on it, and it expands. Super cheap, and it's just basically like a wet towel. You bring a bottle of water, bring like 10 of those. Those are a lifesaver. If it's hot outside and you're sweating, pour a little bit of water on there. You got a damp cloth. And man, that is like one of the number one things I would bring. You can order off of Amazon, and this is before the tariff changes. So you can order off of Amazon, and they will deliver it to you. If it's over $50 and it's on their list that they offer, it's free shipping. And then you want to keep it below about $180, which is about 10,000 pesos, to avoid your customs fees. And they're pretty fast. Shipping things like postal service, standard delivery takes anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months, maybe even 3 months. But I'd say the average is 2 months. So that's something to think about too. You can do like FedEx and like pay the price for the expedited shipping, and it'll get there fairly cheap. I haven't done it, so I think it's like within like a week or something like that, because I'm guessing they're doing air. You can pay for shipping large boxes from the US, and you can do it by air, and it's a standard large. The jumbo box runs about $800 to $1,000 air, and then around like 150 by sea, but that takes like 2 months to get there, and that's if it gets there, if it doesn't get damaged or lost in transit. But I've heard a lot of people do really good about getting their shipments in, and they use, the most common one that I've heard of is LBC. But like my girlfriend's sister, she lives in the U.S., and she does it, and it takes her like 2 months, and as far as I know, she's never had any issues, and it comes not damaged or anything like that. I use my HSA card here. That works just fine. Health savings account. You can withdraw money out of the ATMs, and you're usually allowed a little under $200. So it's like $180 because it's 10,000 pesos, which comes out to about 175, 178, 80, something like that, depending on the ratio. And then whatever fee you're paying for your bank, and then whatever fee you're paying for their ATM withdrawal. I use Wise to transfer everything. So I go from my bank account, I transfer it to Wise, and I transfer it then from there to either my Philippines bank account or Gcash. Update all of your, if you can possibly try to get the highest expiration date you can on all of your credit cards, debit cards, HSA cards, any kind of card you have. You don't think about that because when you're in the United States, you can just, it expires, you go to the bank, whatever, and do it. Like you're going to be in the Philippines, or you're going to be in Thailand or whatever, and you've got 2 months left or 6 months left until your debit card or your driver's license or whatever runs out. So do whatever you can do to get the card with the expiration date. Currency, if you are going to come over with $1,000 and $100 bills or something like that, whatever currency you have, if you're in US or Europe or whatever, they want crisp, clean, unbent, unripped currency. They're trying to resell it to somebody else. I came with like $500. It was like $280 or some like 200 or something like that, where I just couldn't sell it. I couldn't go to the exchange place to exchange it to get Filipino pesos. So I held on to that until I came back here. So that's a good one, is make sure they're good, crisp bills. All right, here's another one. Pulling money out of an ATM. I mentioned this earlier. You can only pull out about 10,000 pesos, which is about $180. They'll usually give it to you in 1,000 peso bills. Anytime you can, try to break that bill down to small bills. A lot of places you go to, you give them 1,000 pesos and they look at you like it's giving somebody 100 in the United States. So it's really hard for a lot of places to break that. So anytime you can, get the smallest bills you can get. It goes very far. Here's another one. If you like to watch TV, if you like to watch Netflix, Hulu, things like that, watch it on your TV. Obviously, you're not going to bring a smart TV with you, so you're going to either come here and you're going to buy a TV or watch it on your laptop or whatever. Watch it on your laptop, that's fine. Just get yourself a good VPN. If you're just watching it on like one device, get a VPN that supports like 5 VPNs or something like that, so you can have one on your phone, one on your laptop, whatever. If you're doing multiple devices, I would suggest getting a router that has the option to install a VPN on the router, because then you have multiple devices connecting to that router and you only have to pay for one instead of having to pay for a service that offers you like only 5 VPNs, 5 devices for each one. So you get a router that specifically says it accepts VPNs. And you install the software on there, and it's really not hard to do. Most of them will walk you through it, or get tech support from that. If you get like a TP-Link router, you can hit up TP-Link and say, hey, how do I set this up? It's pretty easy to do. If you bring like a Fire Stick, Amazon Roku or something like that, I would purchase it in the United States. Make sure you check the updates and make sure it's up to date before you bring it in here, because if you have a TV or a Roku or something like that, some kind of streaming service stick that you purchase here, it's installed here, so it is like their version. I could be completely wrong, but from my understanding, it's their version of the stick. So I've bought like streaming sticks here, and trying to watch Netflix, trying to watch Hulu, Paramount, anything like that, it's just super hard to do. Because if you get a TV here, you don't use a VPN, or you get a streaming stick, you don't use a VPN in the Philippines, you're going to get, like, say for Netflix, for instance, you're going to get like maybe a tenth of the library that you're going to get from the United States. So if you got a favorite TV show from the United States that you like to watch, and if you're in the Philippines and you get that discount of like, oh man, it's so much cheaper getting the Philippines Netflix. Yeah, it's cheaper because you got a way smaller library. So you want to watch, Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen or something like that, may not be offered. They don't have the licensing for it, so you just can't watch it, and you're gonna watch a lot of like Philippine movies and things like that. So you can get a VPN, Fire sticks you can install, I believe Fire sticks you can install VPN on the Fire Stick. Don't know how well they work, but the easiest way to do it is just get yourself a cheapy little router that allows it. Your router is going to slow down not your router, but the VPN is going to slow down your connection. But you only need around like 30 megabytes to stream something like Netflix or something like that. So I got one of these little travel chargers. I'm sorry, one of these little travel routers. I only pay like $30 for it, and then I use another streaming service, not streaming service. I use a VPN service, and it was $30 for that, and it was like $30 for like the VPN for like a year, and you get unlimited devices because it's plugged into your router. So whatever's connected to your router, boom, you're in. It sounds more complicated, and but it's really not. It's pretty simple, and I can always help you with that too. Next up, if you're going to look for a rental, and I'm pretty sure this is the same with like Thailand and Taiwan but I'm going off base of the Philippines because that's where I'm at. If you're looking for a rental, and a lot of people suggest renting, obviously try to find a place that's month to month so you can rent a place out to make sure you really want to stay there before you get committed into a 6-month or 1-year lease. Try an Airbnb. A lot of places, if you get an Airbnb, you can be there for a month and say, hey, would you rent this out to me? And you can get a better deal with that too. I went to one place, I got an Airbnb. I was there for 2 days before she said, hey, I'll offer you this 1-bedroom house in a subdivision for $200 a month, and it was no deposit, no credit check, nothing like that. It was just $200 a month, boom, it's yours. But if you're looking for something like that and you just go to the Philippines, then I would suggest probably Facebook Marketplace is usually one of the best places to do it. I would suggest staying away from agencies and people like that, because they're just out to make that money. So you can easily reach out to somebody that's private owner, or even if it's like a condo, you want to get a condo, then try to reach out to the company itself, or just go into the condo. Don't go to some broker. I don't want to say broker, but whoever it is that agent, whatever it is, because if it's a $500 or $1,000 deposit, you're going to be paying double, because you're going to be paying the company and you're going to be paying the agent as well. So stay away from that. And there's a ton of them on Facebook, or of course check them out on Airbnb too. Before coming, I would set up a Grab account. So Grab is like their Uber. They use Grab for rides, and they use it for food. They have a couple other ones. I think it's like Food Panda or something like that. I can't remember, but Grab is pretty widely used. So if you come to the airport and you're in Manila, and you can actually go to the front, and there's a section for, it's like a, what do you call it? Like a, I don't know, a booth. There's a Grab booth where you can go there and they will order you a Grab, and it's safe and it's way cheaper. Or you can install it on your phone, because if you go out, you're gonna get a taxi, and I think I hate saying this, I'll see if I can add it to the video, but there's white taxis and yellow taxis, and I think the yellow ones are the ones you want to avoid, because they charge you like double, triple than the white taxis. So I'll try to remember to put that in the video too as well. So get Grab, install that. You can't do Gcash right away from my understanding, but if you're able to do it and you get lucky, install Gcash. Oh, buy a SIM card. So obviously you have two different options. You have your physical eSIM card. You have your physical SIM card, and then other phones, like newer ones, especially iPhones, they have a eSIM, which is this electronical SIM card, and a lot of them have dual SIM cards. So if you have a eSIM, it is really worth it to just set up an eSIM before you leave and before you get to the Philippines. And as soon as you touch down, you can activate that eSIM right away. If you don't have an eSIM, you can go to one of the booths right there in the airport and get a physical SIM card. You're probably going to pay more than you would somewhere else, but if you need access right away, then that's one option. Usually you have to pay prepaid for your first 6 months of being here, and after 6 months, then you can do postpaid. So prepaid is going to be a lot more expensive than the postpaid. When I first came, I was paying prepaid. I was paying, I forget, $10-20 a month for like 6 gigabytes of internet and of data, whatever, and that was just plenty enough for me. I was home a lot too. But now I'm paying like, $4 every 2 weeks for the same, if not more, data. I can't remember, but this is way, way, way cheaper. If you have a eSIM, you can have dual eSIMs. So I have a eSIM on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, so I can have one SIM card set up to the United States, one SIM card set up to the Philippines. I can have I can bounce around from data, so I can choose if I'm in one area and the data is not working, it'll bounce to the data on the other one. You can just choose one as your primary and one as your secondary, and you can set up multiple eSIMs. I had one for the United States, I had one for the Philippines, I went to South Korea, and I added a third one for South Korea. I believe you can only activate 2 at the same time, but it's just good to set it up and ready to go. So in the Philippines, currently I'm not sponsored, but I use Mint Mobile and I use Globe for the Philippines. Mint Mobile, I get phone calls. I don't know if I get minutes or not. I have to look that up, see if I can add that, but text messaging, at first I got it for free, but then I figured out that I think it's just like you get a limited amount and then you start paying. So to get text messages, I pay $5 a month for unlimited texting, and I've never ran out of texting or calling or anything like that. So I was paying, like, I started off for $15 per month, so you get to buy a 3-month contract, $45. After the first 3 months on the Mint Mobile, it went up to $20 or $25 a month. So you have to pay like a 3 or 6 or 12 months. I've heard of people using. I'll try to add it to the. It's called like Elio or something like that. I've heard a lot about that one. I could be way off basis, but I'll add the link on the video. You can do like Verizon, you can do T-Mobile, but you're probably going to be paying a lot of money in roaming. So you can always suspend your service for 6 months or 3 months, depending on whatever your carrier takes, and come here and try it out. And then if you, after 3 to 6 months, decide you want to live here, then you can cancel your service. So yeah, I'm just going on. It's probably going to be a long video, so I'm going to see if I can wrap it up. I'm going to try to throw in, this was just killing time here at the San Francisco airport, waiting to load my midnight plane. But going to South Korea, then the Philippines, heading home to see my lovely Filipina, Sarah and Sammy. So just killing time. I'll probably add some more into the video as well. Other things that I forgot, because I've been thinking of like small things here and there. I just love those little tiny little napkins. They look like a Tums tablet, and you pour some water on it and it expands, and oh, it's great. Oh, that reminds me too, if you're in the Philippines, if you go to like cheaper places, because we like to go to a lot of like restaurants where you can get a meal for $2-3. but you're not going to go to, it's obviously not a high-end restaurant, so we bring toilet paper, we bring hand sanitizer, maybe, wet wipes or something like that. So bring stuff to sanitize yourself, because you'll go to the bathroom and there'll be no toilet seat, there'll be no toilet paper, there'll be just a bucket of water with a bucket in it. You gotta scoop up the water and dump it in the water to let the gravity flush the toilet. So my girlfriend doesn't go anywhere without some kind of toilet paper or tissue in her purse with hand sanitizer. And they call it tissue, not toilet paper, or they don't call it napkins, because that's a feminine product from what I've been told. So haven't ran into that issue yet, but I'll check back in later on, see if I can add more to this video. Hopefully it's not like an hour-long video.